Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Last episode, we, managed to explore our way through Galvino's workshop here. We've made our way through most of it, and all that's left is this final room over here, which I believe happens to be Galvino's actual room. Or at least I hope he's in here. We've got the workshop key. So let's go in and see. An elderly man hunches over a cluttered desk in the back of the workshop. His flesh is pulled tightly around thin, fragile-looking bones, except around his neck, where it hangs in loose wattles. He turns as you enter, a scowl already chiseled into his lined face.
Back again? I told you.
He hesitates, squinting at you from behind smudged and dusty spectacles.
Of course, a fresh fool to replace the last fools. What brings you stomping through my workshop, eh?
He draws his words out, looking you up and down. A sneer creeps across his face. I've got questions about Durgan's battery and the White Forge.
Straight to business, no nonsense. We appreciate that, don't we?
He turns to the bronze golem over his shoulder.
Anything for a breather from your endless yammering.
The voice echoes from within the golem. Aye, I've got a fancy for this one already.
Hear that, Timora? Another who would tolerate your barbs and insults.
Wait, but say nothing.
But you come seeking the White Forge, like they all do. Boys with smooth cheeks and wild dreams. Girls with bright ribbons tied next to their scabbards.
His voice rises and falls with the sing-song of mockery.
Old men and women, too, seeking a final blaze of glory before they're snuffed out for another turn at the wheel. Sound familiar?
His smile is rigid as he looks at you, and the corner of his eye twitches. You've said all this before, I take it.
I have this conversation with every pig-headed swashbuckler those Postanagos and stalwarts send here. Go see Galvino, they say. Surely he'll help you.
Must have slipped their minds what a busy and important fellow you are.
In the silence that follows, the temperature in the room seems to drop. Galvino glares at her.
I should have let them stone you. Would have silenced your endless rattling forever.
The hanging folds of skin beneath his neck tremble.
Then you'd have naught but those frostbitten inbreds for company.
You're upset. There's an old wound with Stalwart, then.
The spiteful imbeciles destroyed my career, ruined years of work. But let us focus on the reason for your visit, yes?
Hello, Emma. Do enjoy the viewing.
The villagers and their adventurers hammer and pry at the battery as if they were laying siege to some moldering lord's keep. But those stones were laid by some of the finest builders ever to have lived, disciples of Abidan in the truest sense. They will not fall by the whims of any kith. And the door itself, it is infused with living essence.
He holds his hands before him, and his eyes are wide with wonder. Well, the dwarves themselves must have had a way of getting in.
Perfetto! This is the crux of the matter. The Pargrunen of Durgan's battery perished within their own keep, victims of a violent disagreement among their own commandants.
His mouth twists into a wicked grin.
Surely in the village you have heard stories, no? Disappearing caravans, tracks in the snow, screams from the high towers.
He pauses, watching your expression with a raconteur's glee. Well, go on. I like this story so far.
The work of spirits still trapped in the battery, and a testament to those impenetrable walls.
He raps on the mortared stone of his own home.
But the door of the keep, the one the Pargrunen filled with essence, it was made to listen, to recognize its masters.
So you're saying I need the door to recognize me?
Traditional Aptapo cultures revolved around language. Words revealed who they were and where they were from.
An interesting tradition. I could start introducing everyone in verse.
That is why you need a Kantek.
Ah, yes, I believe those are anthems of sorts.
That's the simple explanation. A Kantek is a statement of purpose, a declaration of identity. Each is unique to its stronghold.
Melon. Ha! Seal your door with a key of words, and any liar can walk his way through. There's nothing built of words that won't break when the slightest stress is applied.
Thus, to enter a fortress like Durgan's battery, you would stand at the gate and recite its cantic.
Very well. Where would I learn this cantic?
To learn the cantic, you must speak with one of the dwarves of Durgan's battery. A shame they are all dead, no? But no doubt their souls live on in one or two of the villagers of Stalwart. Like fine wine poured into a cheap pot. But to identify them, that is the first problem. You would need the skills of an animancer.
Possibly, but fortunately, I'm a watcher. The golem swivels her head sharply toward you. Her mask of a face and the glass eyes behind it betray no emotion, but it seems as if she's watching you carefully.
A watcher? Diverus? If this is true, then you could find a soul descendant from Durgan's battery, no question. But the greater difficulty remains. You would have to learn the cantic from the dormant soul. And to do that, you would have to awaken it.
But this awakening would be permanent, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes. Whoever you awaken will live with the memories and the personality of a past life. Maybe peacefully, maybe not.
His bony shoulders rise in a shrug.
That is why you must pay attention to the soul you would awaken, no?
This guy's got a real knack for understatement.
It is a monumental thing to impose on another, but these are the very people who wish to rediscover the White Forge, Verus.
He removes his spectacles and polishes the dirty lenses with his tunic. He has spectacles? The image shows he only has a monocle. So the cantic is all I need.
Who can say? None have yet opened Durgan's battery. But the ones that came before you, I think they got close. You may wish to find them and see what they discovered.
Well, I found what's left of them, a journal and a tile.
Most interesting. They spent many days at the battery door. This looks like something that once belonged there.
And awaken someone? How would I do that?
An awakening is merely the jolting of a dormant soul into consciousness.
He makes a bursting motion with his hands, splaying his fingers wide.
When such things happen normally, it is because something has reminded the subject of a past life, often violently so.
He smacks his workbench with surprising vigor. Aloth flinches.
Thus, to awaken one of the former dwarves of Durgan's battery, you will need to address that soul, and preferably by name.
He folds his hands together, steepling his fingers.
But show some care. When you examine these souls, whatever it is you watchers do, you may see images, memories.
He leans forward, his back hunched.
These are moments of special import. What you see will tell you much about the person, and perhaps the condition in which they awaken.
He raises his hoary eyebrows and tilts his head back.
Awaken them from a traumatic memory, and who knows? Maybe they awaken thirsty for blood. Or maybe you awaken someone else.
You understand the consequences of an awakening as well as any, Laniara. Yet perhaps there's a benefit to the process as well.
Here, this has been tuned to the Aeon of Durgan's battery. Use it near the villagers, and it should tell you if one has a soul old enough to have come from the battery.
He rummages around and produces an unfamiliar device. I see. Thank you for your help.
You have much work ahead of you, as do I.
I'm going with her.
The golem looks between you, her neck turning on its oiled joint.
You? Go to Stalwart? Is this your macabre sense of humor, or has something gone to rust in that beautiful head I crafted?
No one will bother me while I'm with her. Besides, I can help her find people in Stalwart.
The golem's burnished face is eerily impassive.
You haven't been to Stalwart in 13 years. And this watcher sees souls. What help could you be? Besides, I have need of you here. You owe whatever remains of your wicked life to me.
A frown sours on his lips as he taps his chest with a crooked finger. The golem says nothing, but her essence smolders. Resentment rises from her in shimmering waves. She swivels her head to look at you. What's the story between you two?
This charming specimen is a convicted murderer. The Devil of Carrick, she's called.
Mighty fine of you to start with my good qualities, and you wonder why we don't get more visitors.
Killed over a dozen people before they finally caught up to her in Stalwart. Perfect company for lonely camps and mountain passes, no?
He nudges you, all the while grinning wickedly at the motionless golem.
Hey, I know how to start a campfire.
The only reason she's not a frozen corpse is because I convinced the old mayor to let me try an experiment.
You put a person's soul into a metal body. He leans back, raising his hands.
Into a work of art! Look at this! Craftsmanship worthy of a jeweler!
He traces the scrollwork that runs along the golem's jaw.
Fully articulated joints, capable of grasping a pen and writing her own name.
He grabs her hand and delicately bends her tapered fingers.
And of crushing your throat.
She snatches the hand away.
Show me another smith anywhere in the Deerwood who is capable of such delicacy and precision. She is a masterpiece.
And why did you build her?
Why build a fortress or a village or anything? To make something that keeps, that... It was the early days of the Legacy. My peers in the colleges of Animancy were filling the Hollowborn with the souls of animals.
You're right. By comparison, this sounds perfectly sane.
I thought there was a better way.
One with a plum academy job back in Salona. Don't forget that part.
He glares at her with narrowed eyes. So it's one of those fights about who cleans the spears that's not really about spears. Why is she called the Devil of Karak?
She committed her first crime in the village of Karak. Burned a family alive in their home.
Oof.
Did the same thing in half a dozen other villages, but the name stuck.
I take it your experiment didn't go over so well with the rest of the village.
Here we go.
They were going to stone her anyway. Why not allow her to be put to some useful purpose?
My life's ambition. To serve somebody's useful purpose.
I approached Mayor Sinahiyod and begged. He saw the potential and allowed me the privilege of attempting my little experiment.
He sneers at the words and the indignity they recall. His shoulders are stooped and his teeth bared.
Then, I accomplished what few animancers have even dreamed of. No academic support, no patron. Just me in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, now you got 'em all wound up.
I transferred a fully intact soul from a living subject to a fabricated body. She retained her personalities, her memories, all of it.
He claws at the air with one thick-veined hand.
Yet the villagers saw only a stolen corpse.
So, doing this with a murderer, aren't you afraid she'll murder you?
She may be mad, but she's no fool. She wouldn't survive long on her own. If the villagers didn't send a hunting party after her, the Eramans would claim her. Her joints and mechanisms require maintenance, and she cannot perform all of it herself.
See, he's reminding me. In case I get any bright ideas.
That's all I wanted to know.
She's a fine specimen, her personality notwithstanding.
The golem says nothing, but her essence smolders. Okay. I'd like for her to travel with me.
Quay? No, you don't know what you ask. This woman, the Devil of Carrick, she was a notorious murderer, burned people alive all over the region. Besides, she works for me. After all, I am the one who preserved her.
He straightens his back and looks you up and down, taking your measure. Well, let me parade her around town. It'll infuriate those villagers. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
So you get use of the Devil's services, and I get the satisfaction of knowing those stiffnecks are sweating through their small clothes, eh?
He sighs, but a smug grin has already worked his way across his face.
It's a deal.
Fine price for a blacksmith striker. Suppose I should be flattered.
And there you have it, a bargain.
Zawa, you'll step away
Very
for
well.
now, because I'm pretty sure the Devil of Karok is a rogue. Yeah, rogue.
A moment. You are going back to Stalwart, yes? Perhaps you could do me a favor.
Tell me about this favor.
There is a man in the village named Grinde, the head fisherman. The rest of Stalwart kisses his feet because he fills their stinking blades with speckleback. But I know he's not as virtuous as he seems.
Huh. Seems like you have a history with Grind.
That self-righteous meddler engineered my eviction from the village. He turned them all against me. Now I want him to feel the scorn of those mush-brained imbeciles.
And what exactly do you want me to do to him?
Humiliate him, of course. Show his neighbors what he truly is. And let him live with the disgrace.
He points vaguely in the direction of the village, his thin arm trembling.
He's always been a Ripple sponge addict. Just got good at hiding it once his sainted sister died and left him in charge of the fishery. But he keeps a stash in the fishery. Sneaks in at night when the others have gone home, and emerges sluggish and red-eyed a few hours later.
Aha.
I want you to expose him. Go to the fishery after dark when it's empty. Find his Ripple sponge and show it to Renengild.
I see.
Do not answer me now. But when you return to that festering eyesore and smell the stink of fish that hangs in the air, consider what I've said. Besides, you appreciate a good joke, don't you? De Verus, this will be a great one. But be sure to approach the fishery by night, when it's empty. They will give you no end of trouble if they see you stealing during the day.
Yeah, noted. I had questions about the
As
devil.
must the
Okay,
god
we've already
something
done that.
else.
Tell me again how
You're
to
the
awaken
Watcher.
someone.
You must find a sole descendant of one of the dwarves. When you find such a one,
I wanted to know more about the
remind sleeping
expeditioners who
soul
came
of
to you
its
before.
old- As would I, but there is little to tell. They never gave their names. But they seem to know more about the battery than the others, which is unusual because they did not seem like typical adventurers. Their hands were smooth and marked with ink, not scars, and they traveled light. Unusually so.
Unusual indeed. What do you suppose they were looking for?
Val himself could not have said, and I haven't the time to concern myself with the business of strangers.
And what were those constructs I encountered in your workshop?
Other projects, they are none of your concern.
Other projects. Like the Devil of Karok?
For years I've been trying to create another like the Devil of Carrick. Yet those post-Enacos in Stalwart destroyed my machinery. Now, I can only create these broken, mindless things. The Devil remains my most perfect creation.
Why do you need more golems?
I can't present the Devil of Carrick to the academies, can I? A mad woman and a murderer? No. I need to bring a success to the Republics.
Wait. Where have you found the souls to create these other golems?
Smugglers, slavers, fugitives. The kind of riffraff that pass this way. Rarely missed, and good work to keep my little devil busy.
I've heard enough. Okay, then. Okay, so let's see. Keep an eye on the Devil of Karok. So, the Devil of Karok wields a spear, it seems. Devil of Karok's body. Well, we can enchant it in various ways. Making it fine, at least, is probably a very good idea. If nothing else. But let's see. Okay, get rid of that, please. The Waxmaker added. Quest expires in 2 days. I can assign you to this. Yeah, that's fine. Search the fishery at night. We shall. Let's see. Is there anything... Okay, there are things we can loot around here. We'll go ahead and loot everything. What do you think you're doing? This appears to be a crude rendering of the mountains surrounding Durgan's battery. Look, it's not listed... Hey, get out of there! Okay, that's just a book. That appears to be everything here. Okay. But yes, let's see here. The Devil of Karok. So, yep, she is an advanced construct and an 11th level rogue, which, okay, we're all 11th level. Very good mechanics. Could be better, but it is very good. Better than Durance. Interesting. Extra damage. Okay, that's because of that. Living Machine. Immunity to Dominated, Sickened, Confused, Unconscious, Charmed. +1 con and might. Immune to disease and poison. Can't use food, drinks, or drugs. Living Machine. Oh, that's the immunities. And as a rogue, she can do things there. Weapon Focus Peasant. So hatchet, spear, quarterstaff, hunting bow, unarmed. And spear seems to be her weapon. Do we have items that we can give her? Okay, that's Galvino's resonance amplifier. We're going to need to do that. Use that. Just hold that in there for now. Anyway, weapons. Do we have any items that we can give you? Do we have a spear? Quarterstaff, saber, mace, pistol. No, we don't really have a spear. I'll keep my eyes out for one. Can't give her any armor, I'm pretty sure. What about here? Let's see. That's probably not going to be very useful. Extra deflection is actually not helping. Oh no, it is helping. I didn't notice. It's that one. That's what it is. Okay. Let's see. Talisman of the Unconquerable. I didn't even notice that. +2 intellect while endurance is above 50%. 25% focus gain while above 50%. Huh. Interesting. Well, you've got intellect and resolve, so no, never mind. I can give her the con bonus from the boots. Minor cloak of protection might actually be useful. And no helmets. And that appears to be all I can give her here. Okay. Well, we have the Devil of Karok now.
Eh?
Looks like we should leave this area. I'm still wondering how the hell... Because it looks like there's a way to get into that workroom there. Oh! Since we have the Devil of Karok, I bet you can disarm these traps, can't you?
That'll do.
Yes, you can. Good. So let's go to these other traps that happen to be around here and have the devil disarm them. Probably a good idea. I doubt I'm going to use her much, but we have her. Can't disarm that one. Interesting. That one is too strong for her. Okay, I think that was all of the traps that there were around here. And I'm still wondering, it looks like there's supposed to be a way through over here, but I don't know how to open it. Oh, there it is. Found it. Found a trap.
Shall be discreet.
Please disarm that, and we'll loot everything here. Thank you. Let's see. Lockpicks and
If you say
coin.
so. That'll do.
Some coin. Load is a lockpicks. A scattered pile of mechanical finger joints lies strewn across this desk. Arranged from top to bottom, these boxes boast increasingly intricate locks. A few broken lockpicks lie discarded on the shelves. Oh, this must be the devil's room.
Got it done.
Ooh, pry bar. Let's see. Dear Wooden Charm Belt. That is 0.2 move speed. It doesn't seem very useful. It's barely anything. Okay, but on the plus side, we managed to explore that room. Okay. That seems to be everything that's in here. Okay, so I am going to end this episode here. Next episode, we're going to speak to the Devil of Karok and see what she has to say about herself and the like. I know this episode's a little shorter than usual, but we did learn some things, and this seems like the right point to pause. Next episode, we'll speak with the devil and probably take a rest and do some exploring, because we are fairly badly wounded. Not very good. Ugh. Then we'll probably explore the rest outside here. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is Laniara, the Devil of Karok, Kana, Durance, Aloth, and Sagani. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time.